court today ruled in favor of the Kensington Primary School, which barred a Rastafarian student from attending the institution. The child's family expressed disappointment with the ruling and are now considering taking the matter to the appeal court.
Dale and Shireen Virgo put on a brave face after leaving court on Friday. They'd been embroiled in an almost 2-year court battle with the Kensington Primary School in Portmore St. Catherine over their daughter's hair. She's a Rastafarian. The parents were told in 2018 that in order for the child to be admitted to the school, she would have to cut her hair. The school arguing that it was for health reasons and it did not want a lice outbreak. Legal action was taken and the court ordered the school to admit the child pending the outcome of the case. Lawyers representing the Virgos had been arguing that denying the child admittance to the school because of her hair was a breach of her constitutional rights. The court, however, ruled Friday there was no breach.
I would say respectfully that I'm hurt as a black man to know that in this country there are schools that can tell your kids to cut your hair because you have lice. The constitutional rights is the freedom of expression, your right to religion, belief and conscience, equality before the law, equity, access to education. It should not be on the basis that your hair is if you have dreadlocks here, that you have to cream your hair or you have to conform. Conforming is still a slave construct, and our constitutional rights, it's very new. The charter is very new, and every opportunity to test it is something that we certainly will always do.
In expressing disappointment with the outcome of the case, the child's father, Dale Virgo, referred to what he deemed as the continued systematic racism and discrimination in the form of hair.
Look at the world stage right now, in 2020, Black Lives Matter, and, everywhere, people are declaring that, and we have to continue to fight and to declare that, we have a voice, we matter, Do not erase our heritage or Africanness, So that is very important, So we are still hopeful, we are still optimistic, and we're going to fight along with ISAT, to the farthest we can go with the courts.
We failed in our attempts to get a comment from the Kensington Primary School. It's now left to be seen whether the school will allow the child to continue her education at the institution. Come September, she will be in grade 3.
Accept that? That's the policy of the school board. The ministry can't over.
And it is not something we took on because the classrooms are hot. We have agitation, we have to call parents, we have to wash here. We have to call parents to take, remove children. Here, twist
and again, that's discrimination if you're saying my daughter's hair is going to be stink and licey versus a next person who has natural hair.
Avoiding that.
You understand?
We are avoiding that. You are clean.
No.
We are clean.
There is no difference. Once
clean.
you have hair on your head, you need to wash it. You need to take care of your hair. So that in itself is discrimination. If you're going to sit here and believe that my child here is more at risk of getting lice, really?
Miss,
don't tell me from experience. Do not tell me from experience.
You're talking to a principal with 18 years of the school.
Right now.
You're talking to a principal with 35 years teaching. And I am saying, Miss, from experience.
Yes,
we have
your
had so many parents coming to the school.
But do not tell me that my child has a greater risk because of the heat and her hair that she gonna get lice in her hair versus any other person here.
Okay.
That is just one. You cannot make that assumption.
Well,
based on experience. I don't care if it's 100 years of experience. You cannot make that assumption.
Mr. Robinson, that's a PTA
All right. And I'm not gonna stand up here any longer. Right?
Just 1 minute.
No, nobody else is going to come here and try and bombard me. Right. They're going to call 10 people against one person right now.
Against you because you
I'm going to leave.
The whole world.
I'm going to leave right now.
The whole world.
I'm going to leave right now.
The whole world is against us now because it's on Facebook.
You and ministry, deal with it.
Because you're not dealing with it.
And then we'll take it from there.
Vice P, come here.
All right, I'm gonna leave.
They represent the PT executive.
Right, so you want them deal with it. I'm out of it.
The child because the rule states that.
All right, well, wanna deal with it.
And we're not.
All right,
And I am saying to you, Miss,
wanna
I'm
deal with
telling
it.
you now.
Miss, the offer can be rescinded. There's no issue.
You guys deal with it.
Mr. Rob,
You're gonna take back our acceptance because of my child's here. You guys deal with it. I am out of it. Right? You're gonna call 100 persons right here to attack me?
When you put it on
No.
Facebook, there are thousands out there.
I don't
saying
put
that
none on
anything-
Facebook.
There are thousands out there saying negative things about the school now.
Right.
Because
So
of you.
ministry and the PTA and whoever else want to meet and decide, do that. And then you let me know what's up.
Wednesday, the eve of Independence Day. What a precarious job. As a matter of fact, the Minister of Culture and Gender and whatsoever else she is, she come out and say it is spoiling up Jamaica's brand. This thing about the Kiaga school with locks is spoiling up Jamaica brand. They need to fix it quick. Puffy need to fix it, man. I don't know if Puffy them good. I don't have mobile in one of the Sandals hotel them. I wonder how I'm going to do good with this one, but it's a serious thing. The people them take it serious. Cutting edge, RFM.
Tell him that it's alright, girl. You got 2 roads before you.
That is the original Curly Locks, believe it or not, produced by Lee Scratch Perry, made popular by Curly Locks himself, Junior Biles. So, it depends on everybody's tongue, everybody from Africa to Europe to the Caribbean to the courts on the street. People are wondering where I'm going. Well, I forgive my little piece. I couldn't make it just fly past and not say nothing. You know, I mean, it passed through already, but the implications of what can happen now will lead to more problems because every September, trust me, when picnic for God school, every September, the argument about dreadlocks in a school come up. Every September. This will go a long time. And the government not do nothing more than give lip service to the thing. So you see, all when you hear the Prime Minister talk on Emancipation Day about this thing, it's joke business. Because it's FEME government. It's FEME government carried that court. And when I say FEME government, I talk about the Attorney General. This woman who I talk about Jonjo and Lice. She is a culprit. The Attorney General, she's a politician. She's not representing the people of Jamaica. And that is what the Attorney General is supposed to do. The Attorney General is supposed to represent the people. Look for themselves. I'm frightened. That's why they call it dreadlock. Because it's terrible. Them say dreadlock. And them imagine all sorts of vain things. Can you remember when them used to say Rasta put cow dung in them head, that's why them ear look so. Because them can't understand how them ear look that way, they clump up like tree. And them don't realize it's a tree. This is really why we have to go through this all over again. Because this is not Rasta in contention. This is African people expressing them natural self. And that is what the system is scared of from a long time. When people say you're well groomed, means say you can't have on anything but your ear. You must either do have on none for your head like slave, because that's the first thing them do. When them carry the slave, them come across the African them, I should say. The first thing them do is cut off them ear. I bet you never know that. Yes. The first thing them do with the African them to bring them cross through the dungeon is cut off them ear. And them make law against women doing them ear a certain way. This is a serious thing. Because this ear thing, is not just a Rasta make it come that way and to make people know say why locks is something with defiant. That is a defiance, against the system. It's a defiance against the system. Now, when the Africans them come here, there are certain things that the Africans them never want the Africans them to continue as Africans. One is the woman them to, what them call it, cane row. Cane row them call it because how the woman them do it look like the cane piece of them are working now. Same thing them call it can row, cane row. Two, them never allow to play drum. And the two reasons for these two things is because them realize there was messages that was sent by the ear and by the drum. The drum was like a telephone when the Africans them want to burn down building and them can't gather in the church because that's the only place Africans could gather in the church. And that is why a whole heap of the black gospel song them is not about praising Jesus. It's about how to get away from the plantation. It's coded message that was sent in the church because the church was a place where Africans could gather. And them gather there like Paul Bogle and sing certain songs. And white people are joining the song too and don't know what the song are talking about. It's a serious thing. That's why they talk about when Harriet Tubman talk about the underground railroad. It has nothing to do with train. It's a path she find after going deep and deeper further north from the south. It's a path she find that she could have take that path and carry the African them through there and free them in Philadelphia and them places. Now them free, them never want to play the drum because them realize that the drum has send message. And the can row or cane row, whatever them call it, was also sending message. Because the women them in the house, and it was mostly women who working at the house, them call them house slave. You have the house slave and the field slave. And even though a lot of things is said against the house slave. But the house slave was the ones who knew what the master was saying and doing. And these house slaves, because them couldn't talk to one another at any length of time, them can't roll them ear in such a way that when them go outside, the field slave them looking at them head and recognize, say, the slave master now go there tonight, who can go burn down in place. And say, the slave master wife alone up there, who can go kill she and her pick to them. That is how them do it. And when the master find out that this was taking place, them decide, say, look here, all uno head, funo head, we're going to shave after, all the woman them hear them start shave after. See it? So people growing over and over the children, them of the Africans who them call slaves, started to feel a way about them ear. And when them look on the man, them and how them treat the man, them start to feel a way about them ear. So those who's in the slave house look on them face in the mirror and start to feel that they would want to be like the slave master. They want to look like the slave master, especially the woman them. The woman them start to figure out how to make them ear, take out the kink out of them ear. So them use all sort of ways to get the kink out of them ear. And the woman them in the house, the white woman them, really justify it by showing them how to get the king out of them ear. We're going to continue with this thing because we're going to lead you up to how it reaches stage. How it reaches stage. We know it reaches stage. We know it reaches stage. Especially ear. It's weird that ear become the most visible cultural expression of Rastafari. So when them check it now and them say, cut off your ear, them start cut off all the woman them ear too. You understand? And then the man them and the women them who have children start to recognize that there was a look in the freed slave or so-called free slave them that never look like them ancestors, at least at the time. Them never see them parents growing up looking like them grandparents. So them now start to become a new person on the plantation. Meaning now, anything that is looking like the slave master children or the slave master wife, especially the slave master wife, was adopted by the so-called free slaves on the plantation, by the so-called free men them on the plantation, because we have to say them still there on the plantation because them never have no land for run off of. Them couldn't run off of the plantation because all of the land was controlled by white people, slave owners who come from England. And then them start to run just one another in America. And in Jamaica, the slave them, the African them, start to realize, but wait, something wrong here, so. Something wrong here, so. Because everything what we do is keeping in line with the slave master. There were our things there. Because the religion where we are praying and are worshiping, at them give it. The book where them give it for real, at them give it. We don't have no land. Up here, old clothes we are wear. And then when you look on our head, it shine like, me don't know what. So it continue over years, centuries, where anytime black people start to grow them ear, them right away look on themselves and decide, say, no, them no want to look so. And there's a development in them will say, well-groomed. And the first place you must be well-groomed is when you're going to church. When you're going to church, you must look well-groomed. And because the church is the heights of your spiritual need and spiritual wants, you try to look that way every day. So the slave on the plantation try to look like the slave master viewpoint every day. So him now keep him ear upon him head. And up to this day you see it happening. Where them have a thing named barber shop. And we looking at the mirror every day and see itself. The black woman looking at the mirror and see herself. And she don't want her ear look like how it look. The hungry person that keep them ear different was the bad slave. Them want to run away and dead because them a try run away because them get caught and get killed. And that alone make them get identified in a certain level. And them ear become a stumbling block for them. So black people over hundreds of years start to recognize, say, in order not to be a problem for the slave master, them have to keep in line. And one of the ways in keeping in line is to keep your ear off of your head. Don't make it grow to a certain length, or else you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in trouble with your grandparents, or you're going to be in trouble with your relatives. So when it really takes a start now, when you really find the point now, it reaches a stage where African people in this modern time can't bear to see them ear. Old people call your ear all sort of thing. Them call it picky head. Them call it black pepper green. Them grandparents cost them grand picnic. Nobody bring no picnic in here. Nobody bring no money in here. Will look like your dirty father. You know, him head. Damn picky black pepper green. You can't go to school with your ear. You have to go to barber every time your holiday done. You have to go to barber. You have to go to barber because it no look good, your ear no look good. And then make sure to them ball it as far as possible. And not only that, it's a weird thing. The comb where them give it was the comb where white people comb them ear with. Our ear have kink in it. That means that when you put the comb in it, it's stuck. And the parents try to get out the kink out it by drawing the comb through the picnic head. And when the picnic start to ball out, them lick the picnic head and say, you're nasty, you know why your ear comb. It's a terrible thing. Yes, it's a terrible thing. Them comb them ear, and not there for comb. And when your mother look by your head and she say, just a little roll up, because you know black people ear curl kinky. Just a little roll alone. You're not supposed to have that in your head. The normal where your ear grow is a sin. It's a sin. And black people look on them ear that way, or the lack of ear. Them look on the lack of ear as a better look than your ear where nature give you, or nature design you. Nature designed the African with a different kind of ear. A different kind of ear nature designed with. And the comb with them give it can't go through your head. The kink stuck it in your head and pain you. So what them go do now? Them go design a comb named hot comb. Because the hot comb now I go through your ear easier because I go fry your ear and your head and your scalp and everything. So them grease it up and then carry the hot comb in I put the hot comb on the cold stove. Now them have electrical hot comb where them just rub up certain chemical in your head and then dry through your ear and your ear straight like white people ear. So you lose yourself now. Because when you're a man and say, ear is just ear. If it's just ear, why is it so much emphasis was placed on African people ear? None of the university people them not study that. Why is it that so much emphasis was placed on African people ear? If ear is not important and significant. Because we're going to tell you, say, the ancient people, them, the Egyptians, them, all of them, fear there was locks. Sheikh Anta Diop know that. Sheikh Anta Diop, the professor from Senegal. All of the pharaohs them was locks. Look here how young them was. Tutul Ankman was 19-year-old locks. And if you read, for those of you who love the Bible, all the judges in Israel was locks. Lockhead people, all the judges. The most famous of them was Samson, who make the woman cut off her ear, cut off him ear, and your ear say him strength was in him ear. I don't know about that still, but that is a metaphor to show you how important ear is. So we come through now with something named hot comb, and the hot comb was to help us to look more like white people, white women especially. The women press them ear to make it look like white people ear, and then put all sorts of things in it so that the king can't come back, because then you're going to hear say you can't manage the ear, it's too hard to manage. And the too hard to manage means that it must have less kink because it will be manageable. Can you believe that? Black people are walk around the place with them ear and say it's not manageable. And in order to get a work, you have to do your ear like white people. You can't go through the door looking like how nature make you come. You have to look like white people. And the only part of you that must look like white people because you can't change your skin. You can't change your skin. If you don't know where I try to do it. A bleach is a bleach is a bleach is a bleach. You still look is black. You can't change that. But in order to have something that make you manifest yourself as something other than an African, it show in your head, in your ear. Your ear is very important to white people. So, we reach a stage now where a group of people come in at the Western world and now, and we know say dreadlocks is not a Rastafari invention, because we know people in India, the Sadhus, ancient people them from them time there, who them locks, the Sadhus, go look it up. We know have young chieftains in Nigeria. We know have the Bataways, if I pronounce it right, in Ethiopia. Some high priests will live up in some mountain with locks. We know have the Mama in Kenya, the uprising against the British, them was locks. And Rastafari. Even with our head in the bump them, and people start to cuss and go and bad say, my God, how can they allow a woman like that with her head looks up on TV? Terrible thing, terrible, terrible, terrible. So when we look for the thing now, we see, it reaches a stage now where Rasta come now and have this expression, this cultural expression of defiance against the system. And we say, we're going to let the ear grow like the tree. We're going to make the ear grow. Because your ear supposed to be a defiance. And it is a defiance against the system. Because it is the opposite of what the system wants by your head. Because the system don't want you to have no ear by your head. And if you have any ear by your head, you must straighten it. Make it look like for them own. And black people who was brainwashed into believing that you have bad ear and good ear. Like say, your bad ear is something where you make and put by your head, and your good ear is something where the Creator make and put by your head. So you say, no, you have bad ear and good ear. And all of the ear them were bad was African people ear. You never hear somebody look on a white person and say, I have a bad ear yet. Or an Indian or a Chinese. You never hear say, Lord God, look how the Chinese youth ear, him have bad ear. Or the Indian youth. The only person that have bad ear is black people. The only person who have bad ear is black people. And we continue to say it. And we say it in our children them, and we beat it in our pity them, and the pity them come and feel say, them no want them ear look certain way. It's Rasta. Come make people in a Jamaica proud of them head, them ear. Rasta do that. Undoubtedly Rasta. So, when we say, we have picnic, and the picnic them can't go to school, and them constitutional rights is taken away because them have them ear looking natural, like how nature intended to be. Nature never intended you to steer your ear over there so, and steer your ear over there so. And if you want to steer it over there, so it must be steered naturally. I remember my eldest daughter, when she was about 4 years old, and we used to go at Negril, and we used to leave Negril and she go at school. When we put her up on the bus, you know the people them look for me and I say, we wicked, oh we can do the picnic head so. I'm not show them, so I mean, do the picnic, not do the picnic head, no head, that's why ear grow. And you do your picnic something, when you start to cut off your ear and turn it out, you are do the picnic head something. I never touch her ear yet. From I know my daughter, I never touch her ear yet. Never, ever, ever, ever. And it don't make her dunce and stupid. Because that is one of the things that them tell you too. So that big woolly ear by your head going to make you turn idiot. And if you go turn Rasta, it works. You see it there? Yeah, man. I know some people turn idiot, you know, for you start growing ear. Him turn idiot, go talk about Selassie and this and that, and eat pure vegetable and all them something there. And them still continue to do it. And the biggest fight against ear in Jamaica, the natural ear in Jamaica, is Christian black people. Me not take back that. The biggest fight against natural ear in Jamaica is Christian black people. That even though you have some churches where them don't process them ear, but them do all sorts of things to make it look like it's not them ear. As a matter of fact, them would have want cover it to go to church. Does not nature teach you that for a man to have long ear? That is what the Bible tells them. And a woman must not pray with her ear uncovered. She must cover her head. Because her husband is the head of she and Christ is the head of the man. She can't go in front of the Lord with her head uncovered. Because her ear going to show. What is it with ear? That ear is such a terrible thing to people that it trickled down in a way now. And we are contented to feel that we must discriminate against people because them have them natural ear and move with. That children who supposed to be getting them education, you are tell them say, them can't come at your school, the school where your money we go through the government and pay for. And you are tell them, say, your picnic can't go to the school because of them ear. I would like the Prime Minister and the woman who call herself Attorney General tell me what is an acceptable looking ear to go to school. That they must tell me. What is acceptable? An ear that is accepted to go to school. I bet you $1,000 right now, say, an acceptable ear is if the ear is well so-called groomed. And when you say groomed now, preferable processed. Preferable processed. Lax is not tolerated. And this woman, this Attorney General, this GLP, this government, why them GLP people always find themselves entanglement with culture? Why them not like culture? Why them not like, I mean, Rasta, something pertaining to Rasta always come in between the GLP government and Rasta. And even though this thing is not about Rasta, because this is not about Rasta, but then it becomes about Rasta because them says lax. And sister, lax is how black people choose to do them ear, so them don't have to perm it, curm it, cream it, lean it, and team it. That is how black woman decides to do them ear. You have some black woman just fuzz out them ear and left it. It is acceptable. But the mindset of these people that say, no, black people ear enough to stay, so it look too unkept. Your ear look unkept. Or the rat in your ear must be looking unkept. Or your ear must look unkept. So one to the woman who go to the parlor and press out her ear and steam out her ear with grease and thing, and the hot comb go through her ear and I mean, what that? That is more acceptable than my ear. No matter how me want to keep my ear in relationship to, don't touch it unless I'm going to watch it. To St. Andrews from Mount Alvernia in a Montego Bay Prep School, St. James Prep School, one of them. And a child in the school did have lice in them head. And because she was the only locked one of them, said she have the lice in her head. Only to them could go find out, say, my daughter never have no locks in her head. Sorry, never have no lice in her head. Can you believe, say, we live near river and we live near spring. Every minute of the day we go on a river. If we are going to wash clothes, we go to a river. If we want water, we have to go to the river. We don't have a pipe. And if we just want to go have liquor fun, we go down to the river. And them accuse Aishi, I can't call her name because she remind me. Say she have lies and her uncle go find out, say, is the bald pick me of the lies. Now, lies don't know locks are not locks. Lies know hygiene. That is what lies know. Lies know hygiene. And if you're not hygienic, and if you're at a certain place, you're going to have lies in your head. And me not ask nobody this. You can't in the hills have lies. You know, in the hills have lies. You have to come out of the hill and go among certain place to go get lies. Lies not in the hills. And I like mosquito, where they're everywhere. And believe you me, it burned me because I was about to eat. Imagine how true my daughter Rasta and her locks. She have her locks. About claim no say she have, when them go find out say the little picture when I have no locks. Have the lies. And me know ghetto people. When I say ghetto people now, I talk about ghetto people. A pastime of theirs in those days. I don't know about now because I couldn't tell you last I hear about lies. It's just now I ever hear say lies in their school, you know. A long time I don't hear that. One of the pastime among certain people live in a certain condition is to sit down and pick lies out of them pick me head. You didn't know that? Yeah, man. Not Rasta, you know, not bald, not dreadlocks pick me, you know. Not talk about ordinary country people like where I run up and long every day. Them sit down and pick lies out of them pick me head. Me never see a Rasta woman I sit down and pick lies out of her pick me head yet. I mean, I say, you wouldn't have lies in a certain people's head, Rasta and Rasta, you know. But lies is not unique to Rasta. So when this woman, this thing, I shouldn't even go on a courthouse. I don't know how this little fool thing I reach a courthouse. That them now come and talk about, say, them, the liar, more heal up my brethren Buchanan, you know. More heal him up. Now your father good brethren. I tell you, big youth are good brethren. But what are the things then where him should have do? Is ask the woman for evidence. When she tell them about say them have previous whatsoever situation of children coming to school and having lives in them head and junjo. All that no, that hurtful, that hurtful, you know, that's that. No, that hurtful, you know. That hurtful. This woman, I bet you anyone say this woman is a hardcore Christian. This woman is principal. Hardcore Christian with her head I go all burn up too. I bet you anyone say her head is a burn up head woman and pick them round her head burn up. This hardcore woman I come tell you now say about judge and then the young woman who's supposed to be keeping up with what is going on in the world and the times. I wish her name, Mother Ford or what's her name, I want to call her name in Rasta. Because like would have strike me call her name. This Attorney General who I don't know how Attorney General is a member of a political party, you know. What the hell is that? Our Attorney General is a member of a party that, in other words, she's a politician. How she become a politician? Or the Attorney General is a politician? Attorney General is not supposed to be no politician. And this Attorney General, I regurgitate with this principle I tell her. She regurgitate it about say the Jonjo. Them think they're hurtful, you know, that's that. Them think they're hurtful, man. That you sit down here with my ear. My ear now, how much years now? 40 odd years. Nearly 40 odd years me have my ear from my head. Me never comb it. Me never try to fix it to make it with cream and perm and this and that. And a woman a come talk about Jonjo. Oh, Jonjo coming at this. Oh, Jonjo coming at it. What the hell is this? Jonjo and lies. And she actually say that in a public arena. Then me as a Rasta no must vex. Me must vex about it. Me no care about the next Rasta, you know. But me I tell you say, me vex. I mean, no majority of Rasta with me no have no Jonjo in them head and no lies. Me can't tell me say me must go now figure out to rat it. Like how me make sure so me no go among certain COVID. When me feel say COVID people, me not go among certain Rasta. Because them could have lies in them head and all them something there. What a wicked set of people them. And this thing is not about Rasta. This thing is about African people and the cultural expression of African people and how them wage a war against here. That's what them do. The system, white people perpetuate the war against here, and you have some little niggers, house niggers, bossy slave, who continue the war against themselves and against people who come amongst them who don't look like them. Because them love bald head. Bald head represent a certain kind of look, conforming look to the system. They can get work easier. And I'm ashamed of certain Rasta who trying to make them locks look like whatsoever them want it look like, because them want to conform to a system that is don't care a hell about them. And I see some youth now I try to break the barrier where them dress up in them suit and thing and them ear locks. You know them locks they push up in the ear and not ready to drop it. I'm very proud of those youth. I see some of them I since this thing I come on, I show you say yes, them really come to break down the barrier now. By having them laps show with them suit, with them cell phone and them and go to corporate in that business. You understand? I love how that look. But how much time we have to go over this? We now go over this again, you know. Because you see the Prime Minister, we say you see the brother the Rasta, he is one of the biggest hypocrites we ever see a Prime Minister. We never see no Prime Minister go like him yet, you know. No, me tell you, the man go on like, yes, you know, say some will eat and drink with you, but behind them back them say so far you. And that man, that thing. And that thing was the man. As you hold it, you know, easily, you know, Rasta. The woman, the mother, you know, write a letter to the minister, you know, of what we call it, Minister of Education, you know. That was the other one who them alleged a thief. For him same people them alleged say him a thief, you know. When name the one JC head man there. The one we know from Maritime Union. Anyway, Reed, right? He was the Prime Minister, and then now the Prime Minister take away the ministry from him, you know, and take it for himself, you know. That are 2 years ago, you know. And 2 years ago, this thing had the pan case, you know. And the Prime Minister never gave the woman no sign of recognition. To say, all right, she get the letter, him get the letter, and him really realize what it is. Not at all, you know. The Attorney General, this woman will come up here, so now we are talking about lies and John and all them things there. Because the judge them now, the judge them are saying, if this thing of a president with ear looking that way, then the court, the school do have no, it's not wrong. If it's for hygienic situation, it's not wrong. The only thing wrong with it is that them assume, say, if you find your ear look so, is it now? I go continue the lies and dungeon thing. See, you shouldn't do that. You can't come tell me now, say, boy, every person where I do certain things, so if you see two persons do it, that means the whole world I do it same way. You don't see it. So the what's your name? The Attorney General. She feels say, the principal feels say, is the lapse a cause what she perceived to be why she said she now make this youth to come to school, you know. It show me now, so she has said the person who she go find with the junjo and the lock and the lies in her head, in them head, is some lax-head people. So she no want that happen again. So any lax-head people come, she go bar them, or they must go cut off them ear. A joke business. A joke business. They're supposed to see people on a bus. Should I want come off of the bus? Eh? Should I run? Should I run to rotted? Suppose
Kyrie and lead. Them other liquor station on the roads like some liquor weed. I want to them indeed.
Where them people are come from? Hey, them the days are done. On the days done when they come out to them fools there. On the days done with that. Because all on a go on, you see all on the young ladies picnic, on the picnic them on the house. Them no feel like how no feel about locks. Them no feel like how no feel about locks at all. So they must go. We must just keep on a little archaic thinking to yourself about locks. It's a stupid thing. Because whether you're Afro, which is that them did a fight, it's not just dreadlocks them fight for Afro too, you know. The same fight we are going on about locks, you know, they go on about Afro, you know. Can you imagine that? That for sure say it's an ear thing. It's an ear thing. You see what I'm talking about say, I'm gonna tell the story all the while. I'm tell the story all the while, you know. You see what I'm talking about say your ear will grow back, your ear will grow back. Me reach a situation already where me say me got dead for my locks, you know. I tell the story all the while. I go to Bahamas and they lock me up, you know, with 13 of them lock up in a jail, you know. And them a trim everybody in the cell, you know. And me come round now, me come round to it now, you know, where the man now go decide, say, boy, he go trim me now. Because him take him little, you know, the little stick them with the cane them where the man them in the khaki suit used to wear, the police them. Him take him and look at me here like him skin up him face and say, so them allow you for this the plane with your ear look so. And me I look at them and I hear the youth them a ball out there and I say, when I see them head ball and I say, look at now. We have to go kill me inside there so. Me nah stand up because the trick me so the bad. But this people go back to Jamaica as a ball head. What a mad. What a mad. You know what see me? You know what see me? Because dead, I'm going to let no, you know. I decide that already, you know. I never know that could have possibly, you know. So I'm going to dead from my ear, from my head, you know. Because a lot of people I said, then they, you know, can't go back. I mean, realize I'm going to dead from my ear, you know. You know what see me? The man looking at my passport and see me have American visa, British visa, German visa. And I say, well, I said, I must have imported Rasta. Oh, what? Him go around at the hotel. My Rasta never said at the hotel there yet. He must say, and I'm saying police go to the hotel, you know, for really find out about them here stay, you know. And then them did have a studio, Compass Point studio where Chris Black will own down there. So we did all a head for go down the toe. That was something else. Me never know so me never dead for my laps. Anyway, this is the country there that I FM. That's serious thing.
If you could put 5 in a bottle and pour attitude in a glass, freedom from off the shelf, and open independence by turning a cap, taste centuries on.
Had the Bible. They taught us how to pray with our eyes closed. And when we opened them, they had the land and we had the Bibles. Do you see how swiftly they pull wool from the Lamb of God over our eyes? The greatest lie colonialism ever told was that it brought God to Africa. Yes, they brought their Bibles, but they did not bring God to our lands. Yes, they brought their churches, but they did not bring God to our lands. Yes, they brought their guns, but they did not bring God to our lands. What they brought was an image made to justify the breaking of our bodies like communion bread, a false idol that to this day I still see hanging in so many Kenyan homes, a frame full of blonde hair, pink and pale skin, eyes, a light blue piercing enough to draw blood, to have already drawn blood.
Welcome back. The late fashion designer Coco Chanel once said a woman who cuts her hair is about to change her life. A new study out of the US suggests the pursuit of perfect hair could actually be impacting our health. Researchers looked at 18 hair products sold in the US and traditionally used by black women, like hair relaxers, hot oil treatments, anti-frizz or leave-in conditioners. Every product they looked at contained endocrine disrupting chemicals, or EDCs. That means they interfere with the way our bodies produce hormones, and many of those products are actually banned in Europe. And what's of particular concern is how few of those compounds are listed as product ingredients, and that makes it difficult for users to know exactly what they're putting on their hair and scalp. Well, the study is published in the journal Environmental Research. Tola Okogu is a hair care blogger and author. She's with me. Her children's books explore the relationship between girls and their hair. And joining us from Boston, Massachusetts, is the study author, Dr. Jessica Helm, a scientist at the Silent Spring Institute. Jessica, I'm going to come to you first to talk about the health problems that you found black women tend to have more than other women in the US. There was something that stood out for you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So we know from previously published research that black women have higher rates of uterine fibroids, of infertility, earlier onset of puberty, as well as rising rates of endometrial and breast cancers.
And did you find a link with the kind of chemicals that are in the hair products we talked about?
So what we found was that endocrine disrupting chemicals were frequently present in these products. We know that endocrine disrupting chemicals are present in people's bodies, that some of the same chemicals that are in these products are in women's bodies frequently. And we know that they have effects at high doses. Our study wasn't set up to specifically answer the question of whether or not these chemicals were directly influencing health, but the fact that these chemicals are frequently found in these products was of concern to us.
Let's pick up that concern with Tola, because I know you not only act as a hair care coach, you're aware of what's on the market now, yes. But you've been aware of, over years, the kind of products that have been used by black women to care for or tame, or however you want to put it, your hair.
Yeah, with black hair, it naturally requires a lot more products than any other hair type because it's drier and it also requires more lubrication. So black women do tend to use a lot of products in one session, so they'll layer products. And historically, the products that we buy, I've been aware for a while that the ingredients are on the cheaper end, and the brands, it does appear to be quite low quality products, and most of the products are bought in hair shops in areas where the demographic is majoritively black.
And a lot of products traditionally have come in from the States.
Yes, they have. Historically, I mean, I've been using hair products obviously for a long time, and when I was young, my mother used to relax my hair with little relaxer box kits that were directly imported from the US. So historically, most of our products do come from the US.
And Jessica, there is another concern, which is not... Often the ingredients aren't fully listed, so it's hard to know what you're dealing with when you buy these products.
That's right. Yeah, we actually found that the majority of the chemicals that we detected weren't listed on the ingredient label. We did find that parabens tended to be better labeled, but they were by no means always labeled. Fragrance chemicals tended to be labeled with the word fragrance, but the actual ingredients within those fragrances were not listed on the label.
Do you think, Jessica, that black women who use these products that are directed at them as a market should be worried about their health because of this?
Yeah, that's a good question. From a precautionary approach, I think it makes sense to reduce exposures to products that have chemicals that may cause harm, and where there are opportunities to reduce that exposure, I think it makes sense to do that.
Tola, what do you think about that?
I agree completely. A few years ago, when I became more ingredient conscious in terms of the products that I use, and I kind of picked my products looking at the ingredients list, and I've become more familiar with some of the chemical names, I have moved to more organic products, and there are more products in the marketplace. There are a lot more UK manufacturers, and as the trend has moved towards more natural hair, so have the products. So women are being more conscious about what is in the products they're using on their hair and skin, and they're being more careful and picking products that are either more organic or have less cosmeceuticals and more natural oils, etc.
And Tola, I'm interested in the fact that you speak to a younger audience as well. I mean, partly because of your coaching, but also the children's books. I think we can show some of the front covers of the books that you've published and are about to publish. Yeah. And hair care is a massive issue.
It is. It's something that speaks to the heart of identity for a lot of black women and black girls. Hair isn't just hair for us. It's the number one signifier of our race, and it is very much tied into our race and how we view ourselves. And historically, our hair has been something we've kind of felt ashamed of and felt was inferior. So my books kind of are about celebrating black hair, black skin, black beauty, and hopefully helping a new and younger generation that's coming up develop a love for their hair and what is naturally coming out of their heads.
And Jessica, just a final thought from you. I mean, the Silent Spring Institute, that makes me think about environmental awareness from the 60s on. And do you perceive that people now are much more concerned about ingredients and environment, especially when it comes to something so intimate as hair?
Yeah, I think that there is, within some areas of society, there's some awareness, but I think by and large, people are generally unaware of the chemicals that are in their products and the potential that those chemicals might have to cause harm.
Well, Jessica, I think that's an important warning, and Tola, I suppose that's part of the education that needs to be done.
Yeah, but my advice to black women would be educate yourself. Get to know some of the more common dangerous ingredients like parabens and even silicone oils, and some of the products you listed are commonly used. So if you educate yourself, you can avoid it. And as I said, there are more products in the marketplace, so there is more choice and more variety.
Well, Tola and Jessica, thank you both for joining us here on GMT. Thank you for joining us, and you can always talk to me on Twitter about any of the stories we've covered in a very busy news hour. I'm at BBC. Goodbye.
Is change in the face of foreign exchange. Visit us at over 35 branches island-wide, online, or call 888-FX-TRADE, 398-723.
As I tell you, it's on the lips of everyone. This court case against the African youth going to school. The ironical thing about it is that the chairman of the director of the school say that him do have no problem for the youth go back to the school. You know, I mean, him don't know, as a matter of fact, him say the board don't know nothing about not allowing dreadlocks to come in. What a thing. Him say him don't know of no law that govern the school that say people with locks can't come to the school. So it's an individual that say that. The principal has said that, and then she's defended by this attorney general, this politician, attorney general. I don't know, people don't see something wrong with that. What to the opposition? What kind of no balls opposition? The opposition don't have no ball. How the opposition can sit down and make a GLP become the attorney general? No wrong with that. I mean, we see in America where Trump elect certain high court judge. I don't know if our prime minister kind of want copy Trump. I don't know. It look like him ambition is to be like Trump. Most. Because I make some move the way only him want to work with it. And now we hear him talk about it is against the law for the bribe. Of course it's against the law, so why don't make it happen? Why keep make it happening? Every September when picnic got school, somebody have to ball out. Every September, why it can't be something where they come here, Babsy Grange read out a statement that was happening, that took place in the House of Parliament about this idea of barring children with locks to come and go to school. And we know a whole heap of youth with locks to go to school. But every September something come up like this. Every September. And at 2 years now that one are going. 2 years. And before that you have a next one and a next one and a next one. There's so much of them. You know, why is it that it keep happening and you don't know the right thing to do? The right thing to do is to legislate it and make them, the school them where taxpayers' money are paid for. We say, look here, you cannot do that. Just tell me now, and then now you have some people out there say, the Rasta want to go build no own school. It's madness on that talk. Madness. Madness. Rasta go build no own school. So suppose Rasta don't build no own school, it means they want now. We must stand up and take something that is unconstitutional as citizens of this country. And that's what I say. Because Rasta don't build no school. It means say we must stand what we must suck in what we get and shut them out. So when we don't have no water, we don't have to shut them out. We don't have light, we don't shut them out. We want to get an old generator. Go get an old generator. And this disgusts me when I hear people talk about we must build our own school. Of course we can't build our own school, but then what happen now? We're going to get tax-free break like the church them. Church no pay tax, you know. Church no pay tax. So I don't know how that will work out. And true we not build a school, we must just stick where we get. A joke business. We must stand up and say, boy, right now, you know. And then you have some people out there who think that we're there and use it for mock Rasta. Because we have been mocked for centuries, not centuries, we've been mocked for years. From ever since Rasta appeared on here, so we've been mocked and jeered and ridiculed. We are the most ridiculed group of Jamaicans in Jamaica. We have been mocked and jeered and ridiculed and violently too. Not only by the people, but by the state. The state is also part of that ridicule and mock and jeer and say. And the people them is like clock, peak, clock. And then look now. Rasta Locks is the face of Jamaican tourism. What kind of hypocrisy that? What kind of hypocrisy that? We go to Mexico. We go to Mexico. And when we in the market, most of the seller them have on, you know, the spas like to themselves on the North Coast. But they know that Mexico them come from, well, I go to know all of them come from Mexico. So them come from China, made in China. With a little tamp on the top and a little thing them food. Sometimes you see people that just wear a Rasta, you know. You ever look on a ship yet and see the Rasta, that Rasta. See the people that go back on the ship. Everybody go make sure they go back. I tell you. Everybody make sure they go buy one of them and go back on the ship, you know. You ever when them go back on the ship, every other person have one of them look made in China. I don't know what I need it. I'm made in Mexico. I say, I'm frightened when I go to Mexico, I see it there in Mexico City, and I'm going to the market. Every other seller have one of them locks, you know, one of them something there, you know, let them see me apart, you know, they must say, I want to wait to the real thing there. It's a joke. Bob Marley picture stick up in a tourism office them with a big split in their mouth. Can you imagine that? Hypocrisy at its highest level, you know. Look how much Rasta dead for ganja and each other. And now we say farmer minister, farmer police commissioner around ganja trade legally. Eh? When name Ellington. Remember Ellington? Big Ellington, the man when during the time of the way it named there. The man there's no director for ganja place where cheap medical marijuana and grow medical marijuana, you know. Eh? And Rasta go through all of them pain and agony and we still go like say we are idiot. The whole world. You know me know about this thing, yeah? At the Washington Post, me see it, you know. And the newspaper, local newspaper, what that show quick the things spread, you know. And the weirdest thing, it happened on the eve of the so-called emancipation day. You can't imagine that? I have to go read my foot bottom to say what that mean. You know, like how people read tea leaf, or your palm. I have to read my foot bottom to figure out what the hell is happening. How can this happen? The eve of emancipation, when everybody's supposed to celebrate the slaves, the African them who get freed in that slavery and them something there. To come here and say, lax is Jonjo and life. You know why I'm around you because you're Jonjo and life. Eh? So you can just imagine how that the woman there and people like she, how them, you know a man that probably really attacks, eh? Them no, you are the one now? Because see if I can find it on my phone. Because them thing are some serious thing, you know. Serious thing. I have to go find it on my phone because it's mind-boggling, man. That's why I tell the Rasta them, you know, Rasta, you don't get too complacent, you know. You have a whole heap of Jamaican people don't like Rasta. Always say, go on. But you see Rasta jump up on stage and I entertain people and I do this and I do that and I have the uptown girls them and the this and the that. You have a whole heap of Jamaican who don't like Rasta. Them can't take away. Them can't take away. I want to find this thing here. Where my daughter send come through me or so because this is a terrible thing. Alright, hear this now. This is a past upon a radio station and I call the radio station even though I have it or so. If you call it to, you know, anyway. This is a past upon a radio station and say that we cannot allow Rasta in school because next thing we are going to have Rasta soldiers wearing sagging pants and the law of God must be upheld. You can imagine that? You can imagine that? You know of Rasta we are wearing them pants at sag. You don't know which Rasta I'm talking about. I must say the hype alalabalu Rasta there. You have some hype brother where you look at them head they locks, but you don't even know they locks. So them are wear, alright. Next thing we are going to have Rasta soldiers wearing sagging pants. And the law of God must be upheld. This is a past sentence for the radio station, you know. In a Jamaica. A past I said that for the radio station in a Jamaica. Sorry, I tell you, a message shall love again. That's what we have to offer. That's what we have to offer. In this time of roadblocks. Roadblock catch everybody. They call me down. There with you. I got you. Cause you know, say we keep after I repeat the same thing. It's like we can't just play back the cutting edge them we do over the years. And it still doesn't make sense. It's like you just play all a Bob Marley song them when do over the years, after I'm dead 30 odd years ago. And it still doesn't make sense. Them things that should have been at some archive where you just remember saying that I said these things because but look how we just say all of them things and it just happened though. But we say, but look how we just say all of them things there and nothing no go up, nothing no up yet. You know, most of the things that we are asked for, we're still in a limbo. We're still in a limbo because of the people them who govern with life. You know, who govern with life in such a way that them feel them as masters. Them feel them as masters. Because when you have a attorney general, the attorney general is the head of the GLP as it relates to law, not the Minister of National Security. When it comes on to things of the law, is the attorney general is the head of that. And if the attorney general decides something, it is the government that is deciding it. And the people them don't understand that. The people them don't understand that when the attorney general decides something in the law, it's the government that decide it. Because she's a GLP. She's a GLP. It's not like the public prosecutor. What's your name again? Paula Llewellyn. Yet still the Prime Minister says she can't go and work out her thing for a couple more years before she resign. But we have this lady inside us now. I agree with this woman about Jonjo and thing, and this thing got court. We're going to go make law judge sit down now and decide if this thing is this or this thing is that. Where that good for? I make it become a national, international, not even national. It become an international issue. You hardly everybody talk about the bombing we're going in a Lebanon, in a Beirut, where how much hundreds of people dead and thousands of people, get affected. Thousands. The bomb, the people feel the bomb 6 miles, I can't tell the story right here, 6 miles away. Can you imagine that? The explosion so large, man. And them claim it's accident. Hundreds of people dead. And several thousand other get injured. You know, and it's like, it's a terrible thing that, about this thing here, about this little ear thing, and people are talking about ear, and I just ear. When you go on, I don't know, restaurant house, I just ear. Just which ear? It's more political than that. You understand? Your ear is a political thing. Your ear is a social thing. Your ear is a spiritual thing. You understand? It's not only Rasta have them ear look like that. Spiritual people. If you talk, if I would say we go back to the Bible. Them say Moses going on the mountain. And when him come back, him have 7 locks in him head. Yes. Them say the judges of Israel, make them ear grow. They make the locks of them ear grow. Them not cut it. In a number 6, it tell you about the Nazarene vow. When a man take a vow of the Nazarene, no razor shall come upon his head. Him shall have no strong drink, or no food from wine, until the days of his separation. Him shall go near no dead body and everything there. Read number 6. A Nazarene vow. I have never seen a ball of Jesus painted yet. Every picture when I see them paint of Jesus, this white guy, is a man with long hair on his shoulder. So how it become that way there? How it become that way there? How white people make black people shame of them ear. That black people now shame of them ear not because of white people, because of innate them just hate themselves. It's an innate hate but developing on them. Them brains get jungered. Them have junge upon them brains. that them can't recognize that the guy take away your ear. Him take away your ear from you. Him take away your ear. The first thing them do is shave off the African name here. Look on the guy way in the park. Emancipation Park. Them chuck cut off him, them not make him know you because that is the look of a slave. The look of a slave is an ear. You must be properly groomed. And when them say properly groomed, them mean say the less ear you have by your head is the better. And the black woman, the less she look like her African self is the better. And it all wild down to ear. We don't see that. We don't say that shame. We ear come like a shame to it. This is the cutting edge on RFM. We're there with you. Yes, Shane, take it away. Take it away.
Brothers and sisters, this is Chalice. Join us with respect for our national anthem. Let us stand and defend this one. Peace and love. Thank you. Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Do our life through countless times. To our leaders, great defenders, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth, be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica.
Love girl, can you see I'm in love with you? I will never make you wear no frown. I will always make you wear my crown. If you say you love me madly, I will always accept you gently. Jacob's queen, dreadlocks queen. Remember when we were in school, teacher taught us the golden rule. Remember when we were in school, teacher taught us the golden rule.
Once I was a reckless gambler, and my liquor dollar bill could not spend. When I meted Zion good, then I sing, then I deliver. In the middle of the sea, when worship began to sing, Captain Selassie chose mercy over all. Yeah. Captain Selassie, Jehovah's mercy over all. Captain Selassie, Jehovah's mercy over all. I and my heart is filled with love. Because Selassie, the Savior, his precious blood that Babylon shed. Sin was all the dreadlocks on them whiter than snow. 'Cause I and I heal this world that I and I stole, and walks the streets of ice, green and gold. Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful day when Celestials washed I and I Sion's soul.
Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge on RFM. We're there with you. I go through the paces. As we say, tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, today, them call it Independence Day. But we always have to question the argument of independence. When somebody is independent, what it means. You have to look on that, you know. When you say he's emancipated, what it means. Because sometimes them sell with things, you know. Them get 6 years and 9 and all them way there. So we have to figure out the word itself and then calculate with life on earth and see if what the word say is so we live. You know? And we're not just talk materially, we are talk spiritually, our connection with earth. You understand? If them have way, I feel the earth more, I feel the birds more, I feel the tree them more. You know, how we connect and relate to the earth itself. More people don't really want to accept, say, the idea of eating flesh cause a whole heap of livestock farming to take place, and in terms cause a whole heap of methane gas to be emitted in the atmosphere, which cause a pollution that is unprecedented. When I say unprecedented, I mean say this methane gas is worse than the amount of plane we are flying at the air. And apart from it emitting methane gas, the animal them, we're talking about the life of the animal them also. We can't stress that no more. How we view life in its other forms, very important to we, how we spirit manifests to each other. You know, if you're there around pure blood every day and blood every day, you're going to get caught up in something that causes blood to flow. You know, if you get up every morning and quarrel every day, you know, come like you said, when Bob Marley say you get up and quarrel every day, like you say prayer to the devil. And I whole heap I want to know about devil and think about devil. You know, see it. So the woman there on the TV there will say the COVID can be rectified with this tablet where Trump did a push. She said the reason why a whole heap of people how virus develop is because when people go to bed, them have sex with demons. Them have sex with demons. Yeah, man. It go viral when she said that. And she still there over it. And say, why CNN get her big? Because right now everybody are come to her and talk about them want to get out demon out of them. Viral. This woman attack about demon. And the reason why virus about the place is because demon. So you have people who believe in all these things to the point where then will let it go by you. But our relationship with nature and our relationship with each other is a very important part of how stable we are in a society and a community. Yes. And if the people them is not spiritually motivated, they're going to search for an outlet for that idea and that concept that don't drive them to a better life. You know, see, if a man have to continually deal with what is physically not right with him life, his spirit going to be not right. And if his spirit is right and him physically not right, his spirit will be perturbed. So we have to have a balance with it. We have to know what is the spiritual concept we want and what is the physical manifestation that is necessary to make us be complete. We talk about completion. So when we talk about emancipation and when we talk about independence, our people cannot be independent and our people cannot be emancipated because our mind is not connected to the soul of the earth. Our mind is not connected. We're scared, and the society we live in make us scared. So it's hard to develop that awakening our people that say that consciousness to propel you into a higher heights. According to we as Rasta that say, that search for higher heights. Very difficult for people to reach that level. Very, very, very difficult. This is
Exchange Summit alongside Natty Pablo. The scene dedicated to the woman of my yard.
My name is Koku Edu Jemfi Ampofo. I'm greeting you humbly. With humble respect, I speak with my brothers and sisters in Jamaica. There is something going on which I need to address because it is affecting the whole black populace. Because Jamaica is the eye of Africa. If something goes on well in Jamaica, it affects all the black people. Because Jamaica, as I have said many times, as Nelson Mandela also said, is the strength of Africa, a land full of prophets and prophetess. Jamaica, lend me your ears. Humbly, with respect, I'm talking to you. I give you the honor and I give you all the utmost respect because you represent us as Africans. If Africa has a population of 3 million or 3 billion, each Jamaican, a person from Jamaica stands for not less than 3 million people because you are our leaders. You are our prophets and our prophetess. Jamaica, if you look back and you listen to yourself, during the time of reggae music, when Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Bonnie Wailer, Burning Spear, Gregory Isaacs, Jacob Miller, and those people were ruling, black people almost got united. We had a very big spiritual upliftment in the life of the black people because it was coming from Jamaica. It was pure and it was holy. It was cleaning us, unifying us as people. And we had the enthusiasm, the happiness, the strength, the courage and the might that the future will be bright for us as people in Africa. The words, the wisdom, the knowledge, the spirituality of the music paved way for us to love ourselves and to be built spiritually. But now, the music of spirituality in Jamaica, from the Rastafarians, from our great-grandfathers, were spoken by Marcus Garvey, Sam Sharp, William Gordons, Paul Boglo, Nani, Akompong, and others are almost getting lost. Because today, the dancehall music is killing the spirituality of what the people left behind. Keep your culture. Don't be afraid of the vulture. Wisdom is better than silver and gold. Jamaicans, you are people with wisdom. You weigh more than silver and gold. Silver and gold is what you are blessed with. But the wisdom within you is greater than what you can think of. That is why I'm talking to you today. To be on your feet and remember that you represent millions of black people as a person from Jamaica. If you leave the shores of Jamaica, the respect that is according to you as a Jamaican is different, because the background is good spiritually. But why are you allowing the vulture to steal away your culture of purification, sanctification, and the holiness and the purity of the music that has been sung by your great-grandmen? You still have a living legend in the person of Boniwela, a living prophet, one of the biggest among all. You have every right, every opportunity, every chance to live up to your expectations without fear or hindrance. Because the land, I have been there, I have seen it with my naked eyes, filled with spiritual power. But you are giving way for people from other countries to intrude Jamaica with different spirits. But before it goes bad, I need to draw your attention to the fact that you represent Africa. So remember yourself and know who you are under the sun, that you are the blessed land. In the future, there's the possibility that if you go back to your roots and you pick up the spiritual sense in the wisdom and the power in the music sung by Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Boniwela, Benny Spear, Gregory Isaac, Jacob Miller, and what you can know, Mutabaruka and the rest, Africa can be on her feet. We are looking forward to you as people, because you are the people who can hear and tell us how we have to go. You are not many, but you are spiritually filled. But the dancehall music, individually sit and read and understand and ask yourself if it helps more than what you knew before. Then you can be the judge. If it is not the best, don't think only for yourself. Don't think for your only self-esteem or self-happiness. But think that so far as you are a Jamaican, you represent millions of black people as a person. So think about the masses and then go back to your roots and pick up the music of wisdom. That will help to generate the power that we need to free ourselves from every bondage. I have been there, and if you go to the Maroon lands, why is it that there is peace over there? Because there is no infiltrations. They still keep on to their culture. They keep to their roots. Help us as people in Africa also to keep to our roots. If only you will start singing the songs of wisdom, the songs of praise to the Most High God who created us, whose power encompasses the universe, who has given Jamaica the wisdom to sing the songs of praises that Africans will follow, and we all live in peace and unity. Blessed, know what I'm saying.
Birds and cook it and lizard, and it just feel nice. And sometimes you hear a little rain fall last week, the breeze nearly blow down the place, man. But when I hear some big hurricane going in America, boy, I mean, everything happened, fire, COVID, 150,000 people dead. And the president has said, he have everything under control. I tell you, it's not easy. He's optimistic, you know, he see everything. You see him now, the glass half full every time, you know. Him not see no empty in the glass, you know. When you look at feed glass, it's half full. If not have nothing for say, man, you know, him say, yeah, man, everything going all right. Don't worry yourself, man. You know, I took man drop down dead behind him, you know, him say, see, it's all right, then we get up back, you know. No, man, it's not easy, man. It's not easy at all. Anyway, him start ball out, say, election are going to rig. Because he realized that something was going wrong with him popularity, you know. Kind of ball out already the first time, you know. And him win, you know. Him said election, he rig it and him win. But now him start early now. He might say, boy, the election have a rig. This mail voting thing, them have it, the guys there, the Democrats, them have it top. So him now stop rule that time now say not about no COVID, not more than sure everything we have it under control, man. We have the most testing in the world. Him say, I mean, everybody's eating up themselves. Why? We have the most testing. The reason why it look like we have the most is because we are testing more people. It's we are telling you what, it's an enigma. You know, people levels, it's an enigma, man. This is to follow, you know. No, I tell you, if a place bomb up you, them go and say, don't worry yourself, man. Everybody will be safe. You know, him not look at nothing like what it go on, you know. Him live in his own little world.
While driving through Jamaica, there's only one radio station I listen to. IRIA FM, IRIA FM, IRIA FM, IRIA FM.
Reggae Radio, IRIA FM.
Eased, flashbacks, nightmares. I'm struggling to erase this racist image from my head of a black man, handcuffed, pinned to the ground, face down, with a white cockney on the back of his neck, eyes bulging, nose bleeding, crying, release me please, I can't breathe, release me please, I can't breathe, sir, I need water, water. He even called the monster sir. As his soul slowly slips away, he cries in agony for his dead mother, while another mother contemplates what to tell her young child when she asks, Mommy, where is Daddy? Why is Daddy not home as yet? How will she explain he won't be coming home tonight or any other nights? Her daddy lost his life on his way to get food because he wasn't white. How could she say to the father of her child, her lover, stay, don't go out today, death may be lurking around the corner, dressed in a white cloak with a badge of white privilege pinned to its chest, waiting on someone of color to pierce their flesh with its acidic hate. How could she say to him, be cool, things will work out soon, when he is sick and tired of being cool? For all his life, his soul has been on ice. A man with a heart beating in his chest and blood running through his veins can't stay one place. He has to move to look his bread, move to keep a roof over his head. What right does anyone have to rob him of his breath? This senseless killing is making no sense. No sense. Things need to change. Change needs more than charismatic leaders, well dressed in tailored suits, giving eloquent speeches, ego craving the applause and the praises. Change is more than incarcerated words, locked away in books with fancy titles and thick pages, marching with placards written in bold letters saying we want justice, we need justice, will only continue to give us just this and not justice. We are powerless without economics. We are powerless without economics. There are great white people. I have white friends. Racism is not an individual thing. Racism is an institution. Money is the God they worship. We need to disrupt their service by changing whose cause we serve with the money we work hard to earn. To the powers that be, black lives does not matter. All they care about is black votes, black labor, and black dollars. Refocus your rage. Pure emotions can't bring change. The only solution is an economic revolution. The only solution is an economic revolution. Educate, organize. Organize, educate. Take the power back. Build black businesses. Spend in your community. Buy black. Buy black. Buy black.
Situation we find ourselves in, a man. Yeah, man, a George Floyd situation. We don't see no death round it. And we don't see the alabaloo round it where next man are old, but it come like the government have them knee in a relax. Yeah, it come like them have them knee in a relax, man, in a black people relax. And I try to tell us about John Joe. Hey, that hurt, you know, Rasta. That hurt, man, about John Joe. Oh, the hell. I tell people about, you know, accept people at school because they might have John Joe and they might have. And the little girl that go to school how long now? I know the first day she go to school. She go all of them summer class and all them something there. Them not buck up no John Joe in her head. It's not like them don't know her. Them know her. You know, and the man say we take her back to the school because there's no policy like that. So how dare this principal to come talk about John Joe and then the government take up our case? Eh? How the government could have take up a case like that before them quash the thing right where it start? Just done the thing and make it now to go through yourself. To go make all the minister of culture and have to apologize to the world because it tarnished Jamaica brand. Because nobody not expect them things to come out of Jamaica. Jamaica is a light. Yeah, the African just talk about it. The beak of hope for African people all over the world. And other people, yes, when them relate to Bob Marley song, remember when you're at Germany and them have mashed down the Berlin Wall. A Bob Marley song, them have sing Three Little Birds. Berlin Wall, can you imagine that? And that Jamaican song them have sing. You don't know which one to concentrate on. You know, we hear about all six youth who get shot by police in the week last week. You know, 6 of them get licked down. You know, how much police are get, it's like a war thing I go on. You know, police are get licked, soldier got killed. What all soldier get involved in them something they do? I don't know, the police are the them thing there. But you know, so them build up, them have new gate now up a camp there and all them something there. The soldier them supposed to feel good and vote for JLP because them have new gate, them have new this, new that, how much $1 million spent on the army. But Jamaica don't really need an army. What? Cuba go invade one at a time. We don't need an army, you know. I just show up, we're going to take everybody have an army, so we have to have an army. We need police, or that we need police and police dog. And we'll leave a camera. That's what it needs. It don't need no army. To train soldiers them and make them become police and work it out. But when you send police on road, no, soldier on road, to go kill people now, and then every day you have state of emergency. You know how long them have state of emergency and the thing now get better. A long time them have state of emergency, you know, like we live in a police state. Now we have to say we live in a soldier state. So, we call it now martial law. But it's really where I go on martial law, because yeah, you know, say soldier kill 6 people, or soldier go kill 6 people. That could have never happened in America, you know. Say the minister of security send out soldier upon the road and them kill 6 people. Right. You know, hear some riot go on in America is a joke. Guilty or not guilty. You them guilty or not guilty, they would have riot. But it's Jamaica. Welcome to Jamaica. Land of wood and water. And no water really now. You know, we give thanks to the little rain we have fall. We talk of things them, blood for that. Why you up all the farmer them out there now? Them and why you up the farmer them and know say It's when you plan food, think about yourself first, you know. When I talk about sell the Hey, when go to supermarket, go buy 10 carrot juice. A madness. You plant carrot, and you carry the carrot go to market, sell the carrot, and go in the supermarket, go buy carrot juice, you have a whole heap of this and a whole heap of that, you know. But when you talk to them, you say, no, it's a carrot, you go greater the carrot. You can't buy a greater the carrot. A milk too dear. Like say you have to put milk in a carrot. Look here, man. Greater coconut. Use the coconut as the juice in the carrot. And you don't have to put no milk in there. Or sugar. The Jamaican people have to taste sugar and salt to know say food tastes good. A joke. But really and truly, why you let the farmer them? Yeah, man, why you let the farmer them? Because the farmer them make the thing turn, but you have to make it turn for themselves first. No matter what people want to say, you have to plant food for yourself. First, make it work. The way you don't worry about nothing, you start worrying, you know. Because you have to worry about how you don't worry about nothing. Yeah, the way I say, don't worry at all. And the man used to worry about one hand and class one and all everything there. If you really have a problem with worrying, boy, if you worry about class one and one hand. Anyway, sometimes you don't worry about nothing, but you worry still. This is the country there. You just tell you, say, no, we just say it never come over a while ago, we say. We advise the ones them, please don't call my personal phone between 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock. Sorry, 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock on Thursday, and 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock for Wednesday. Because we actually use the phone to do part of the broadcast. We have something on the phone that allow us to do the program on the phone and talk through the phone, even if we take callers. And if you're doing an interview or we're talking to you through IRFM streaming and you talk and you call the phone, it's going to ring and it's going to really complicate the issue. So we just have to make that clear since we are told that we wasn't heard a while ago. Please don't call the phone when we're doing the program. The phone is part of the program, the technical part of the program. Still, but you have to feed your family with the food where you have planned, so you have to find a way to plant some crop where you can eat off of the ground. You understand? Because we can tell you something now. Here we are talking about the methane gas. Some might not even know what we are talking about. We are talking about how livestock farming create more devastation to the planet here right now than the one if a car them we are drive and emit carbon monoxide. You understand? It's a terrible thing. And so they must send all the whole heap of this and that for to spray upon the plant them because they want the food. At least you want the food come quick and big that you can get money for it. But meanwhile you look the money, you have to recognize your health is good. And you can't go plant food and go sell it and then get sick and use the money for go to a doctor. That don't make no sense at all. You know, see it? Because when we are telling yourself you eat the food where you plant, you know, you have to make the food be your medicine. You have to make the food be your medicine. And nobody now say because you eat good, you're not go dead, you know. It's the doctor bill where will create problem for you. You understand? Because sometimes doctor bill make you get sick, you know. Yeah, man. Sometimes you something wrong with you. There's a little thing wrong with you, you know, but you don't know is what. You go to the doctor, and the doctor tell you that a complication, and then them charge and tell you must go there the pharmacy, go get a prescription, and when you go to the pharmacy, you pay one another money again, and you have to keep doing the same thing over and over. A big money that. You understand? And the agony of going to the pharmacy and the agony of feeling the pain and all them something there. When you can alleviate a whole heap of the pain yourself, sometimes you can alleviate the whole of the pain yourself by just doing certain things. You understand? And if you have the land and you have the know-how to plant certain things, you have to plant it, virgin and sister. Don't make the government tell you no damn foolishness. But they want a certain food shape a certain way and have a certain weight and then now, yes, you want that, but you come first and your family, and that you have to work out. You and your family must be the first priority in your farming. Yes, stay with you until 2 o'clock hours, yeah? While up Shane at the studio, while up Nigel in the studio, one of them in the concrete jungle and one in the rainforest. I rate the thing. Yeah, man. We give thanks, man. We give thanks. You know, so we'll be back here from 2 to 5:45 with the holiday special. You know, so for holiday we play music, don't it? Yes. I will play vintage music. We're not our oldies, you know, vintage. So you can just call up your friend them, move with the furniture them, and just have a virtual party in your house. Remember, don't gather with more than 50 people in your house, though. Because government will come in there, because them are coming for everybody now. Yes, so we just tell you that. Say, we will be having the party style, musical style, as we know to do it.
Can't you see I'm so happy?